Okay, guys, welcome back. Exciting days. Today is a very exciting day. We have the executives with us on the call. CEO will be here shortly, and we have marketing directors and executives, Susan and Brent, which we will pass it over to them in a little bit here. I just want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about myself. Tell you a little bit about what's been going on. So my name is Jay, and I've been in this Forex crypto space for the last almost 9 years, guys. And I started as a Forex educator, moved my way up to providing signals, got a nice group of signal going. And then about 3 years ago, I began to dabble in the automated trading space, Forex and crypto. We also traded crypto and whatnot. And, in my dabbling and testing out systems and EAs and here and there and different strategies, we ran up on some really good systems, some high frequency trading systems. We started to put out PAM accounts and began to do MAM accounts, percentage allocation, money management accounts, and we did pretty good. And then we ran into some platforms that were also doing the same, and we were like, how interesting. So we decided to hop on board a couple. And back then, things were lasting like 1 or 2 years and whatnot. But, one thing led to another, and we started to discover as we started to kind of jump in and participate with these different platforms that what seems to be authentic usually and some more than likely is not in the financial world, in the Forex and in the crypto space. And so we began to learn quickly how important it was to get a little strategy going. So me and a bunch of leaders, we started to educate ourselves and we started to discipline ourselves. And we said, you know what, we're gonna jump into these platforms and we're gonna hit them before they hit us, because we were being made aware that there was a lot of rug pulls going on and people were running away with your money. And we were like, what the heck? I thought this was legit authentic, and what we thought was authentic wind up being counterfeits. And nowadays, these companies and these people that put these platforms out there are doing it in such a way that you can barely tell. So we didn't know what was real, what was not. So we decided we're going to go into each and every one of these the right way. And so we would go in and make sure that we only invested like play money. So we would only invest what we were willing to lose or risk. We would teach everybody the same. We would go ahead and make sure that we were getting our initial investment back before anything. We were not letting anything compound or anything like that. And we were just pulling and pulling and pulling. And then once we got our initial investment back, then we would allow a little bit of compounding while we continued to withdraw. And, these things started lasting only about 6 months. So what started off as, lasting about 1 or 2 years before they had withdrawal problems or even disappeared on you, started to be narrowed down to a month or two. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, we experienced the ugliest rug pull, I believe, in the history of rug pulls. And this thing lasted like 3 days or 4 days into its launch date, which is completely ridiculous when you think about it. You think that you get into something on time, on the launch date, that you got a good at least 2 months ahead. No. So we took a hit there. And one thing led to another, and we began to really kind of meditate on the whole concept. And we said, you know what? I think it's better to move completely away from this type of dynamic because we're not sure what's going on with, if it's real, if it's not. The due diligence we're doing is pretty deep. There's some things that we allow ourselves to be okay with, and it's all because we say, hey, we can identify, we could probably make a few good bucks in this particular program or platform, which these are high gains, high risk, high yield investment programs. So along the way, we decided, hey, this is really not where we want to be, because we also realized that, okay, we'll jump in there, we'll educate everyone, our leaders will do the same, and it's supposed to cause a chain reaction where everyone is disciplined enough to not put their bag right on the line like it's some casino or something like that. And so, you know, you're going to get a couple of knucklehead leaders that are not going to convey that education or protocol, so to speak, and they just want to make money. And so people jump on board, and then you'll have that knucklehead, you know, member or participant who just, he's all about the money and he's not paying attention to the principles and the protocols. And then something will happen, they'll get pinched, and then they'll start, you know, pointing fingers and all of that, you know, slandering, and you know, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good regardless. And I'm a person who lets things slide. But, you know, the horror stories behind these projects and these hypes and how people got pinched, or some leader convinced them to put everything on the line, or some member, you know, just disregarded the protocols and the principles of how to engage in these particular programs. And then they put some big amounts on the line that's life devastating to them. And when you hear these things, you know, then it becomes a matter of the heart. And we decided, along with Brent and Susan, now this is kind of their story, they decided way longer than I did to step away from this kind of stuff. And along the way, I ran into EazyBot. I began to kind of research them, and I've been researching EazyBot for a little over a month. And we were doing video calls and getting on there with the COO, with the CEO, with Brent and Susan, top leaders in the company. And as we begin to build rapport, I begin to realize, hey, you know, first of all, one of the most exciting things I love about EazyBot is that your funds are very safe, because they're being kept in your Binance account or your KuCoin account, where the bot is connected via API and trades for you in any market condition. And although the gains are moderate to that of a hedge fund, so in the worst market conditions, let's call it the winter of the market space in the crypto world, then you're liable to do about 2 to 5%. But in a very flourishing and healthy market condition in the crypto world, then you can do 10, 15, and sometimes may even get about 20% gains a month, which is great for hedge funds and whatnot. Now, I know that doesn't sound too attractive to those people that chase after these hypes, right? But in all reality, this is long-term, this is low risk, this is lifelong. And the most important thing is you're dealing with top leaders that are willing to help, motivate, build you up, support you, and just get you going, you know? And one of the things that I love about EazyBot are the people behind it, because this is their signature. They love on people. They build people up. They motivate people. They support people. They educate people. They help you in any way possible. They help you succeed. And when you have a team of leaders that begins from the CEO himself, super humble guy, which you'll meet today, then you know you're at a place that you can call home. You know you're at a place that you can grow, where your funds are actually so safe, like the COO says, you could even share this with your grandmother. And so, you know, I've had a great experience here at EazyBot. I love it. But that's enough about me, guys. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Brent. But before I do, I just want to remind everyone that's on the call that today we will be giving away 3 advanced memberships, guys. So this is very exciting for those that probably are just hopping on the call right now, who were invited by some of the leaders that are present right now. So what you need to do is, if you're brand new, go ahead and get with the person that invited you, get their referral link, sign up, and throw your link, your referral link, or your ID, or the username that you created when you signed up, into the chat. Because at the end of this meeting, I'm going to throw all those names and all those ID numbers into a spinning wheel, and we're going to give away 3 advanced memberships. So what a way to start if you just hop on and sign up, and all of a sudden you wind up winning an advanced membership. How ironic would that be? But yeah, guys, without further ado, Brent and Susan, take it over.
Thanks a lot, Jay. by the way, Mohamed is in the house, so we'll respect his time. We'll throw the mic over to him and start pushing questions in his direction, because as we know, his schedule is very busy. We want to respect that. And I'll just say, yeah, with that giveaway you're given, speaking of being the perfect time, now is an ideal time to get started with EazyBot, where the market currently is, because statistically speaking, we're at the bottom of a 200-week moving average. The chances of you and the bot buying into the top of the market right now through probability is very low. So it's a perfect time to get started. You're able to capitalize on the volatility right now. We've had people that set up bots 2 days ago. They've made as much as people that started 12 days ago. And that's the kind of thing we can experience with this volatility. So it's the perfect time for you and the bot to start dollar cost averaging into the market as the strategy, because you see the people, you look at the charts now, is when the whales are buying. There's big money coming in because they're buying this dip. So it's a perfect time for the bot. So you've plenty of room. Even if Bitcoin decides to go down to 15 or 10K, this bot's going to be making you profits all the way and pulling down that average price, as Mohamed will probably be sharing later for those of you that have more technical questions about the bot. So keep in mind with this bot, it's very low risk. You are simply purchasing cryptocurrency. You are buying crypto inside your own spot wallet in the exchange. You're not using leverage, futures, contracts, margin trading, any of that. So it's very safe. You're simply doing what most people are doing right now that are long-term bullish on crypto. They're buying into the market right now, but the bot's going to make you profits along the way. So very powerful strategy that's very safe and long-term and sustainable. So with that said, Susan, I'll throw the mic over to you. Let's and then we'll pass it on to Mohamed and start feeding questions to him.
Thank you, Bren, and thank you, Jay, for having us. We love spending time with your community, and your intros really set the stage and the groundwork and really the perspective so eloquently. So thank you for having us in front of your community. Mohamed, I would love to introduce all of you to Mohamed Ali, our CEO, our founder, and the brain behind the strategy of EazyBot. If you have not heard from him, what you are about to hear is a very humble, generous, brilliant man who behind the scenes is always looking at strategies to make sure that the bot is doing what he wants it to do and looking for strategies to even bring you more profits. So without taking up too much space, Mohamed, thank you again for taking your time to come here with us. I think these leaders have some deeper questions that really you best answer, and I have one that I would love you to start with, but go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Bren, and thank you, Jay. I really appreciate the hard work that you guys are doing and your teams, and we've seen that in our back office that you guys are the most active team actually right now in EazyBot. So thank you very much, and we appreciate that, and we would like to support you in growing the business. I'll just go back a little bit to what Jay shared at the beginning about the company, because it's very important that everyone here understand where the company is coming from and why did we exist at the first place, because that defines our future as well. So we started this, we did not start as a company. We started as a group of people who have been working in another bot last year. Between February and June, we have been using another bot where at that time I didn't know anything about the strategies. I'm an engineering profession and a numbers person, not a trader. So when we get into that bot, they told us to put a specific numbers into the bot, and that was the parameters that's going to make us the most money. We did that, and it was actually making us good money at the beginning when the market was bullish, was going up at the beginning of the year. But when the market came to about middle of May and June, the market started rolling down, where the Bitcoin went down from 64,000 to 28,000. That's a drop of more than 50%, and that's where everyone got stuck, including myself. We ended up holding coins, but the good thing is that it was a spot trading. It wasn't leverage trading or future or whatever you call it. So we're holding coins at the end. We're not like losing the money. We're losing the value of that coin that we're holding, but we're not losing the coins themselves. So we had the coins holding, but we had a big gap in the market. where we were stuck at this position and the market went down to this position. So there was a big gap in between that. Everyone was seeing that their portfolio values getting down. The people who had 100,000, they're now seeing 60,000 or 70,000. The people who had like 15,000, they're seeing less than 10,000, and so on and so forth. So that was the time. That bot was also having network marketing concept in principle. So we had to bring teams so that we can earn commissions and so on and so forth. I had my own team, and I had my uplines as well, and we were like a community. So when that happens and everyone ended up stucking, I decided just to do nothing, not to recruit anymore, and just to look at this bot. Why did it stuck? Was it because of the bot? Was it because of the market? Was it because of our settings that we had there? So when I dig deeper into this, I found out that for the market, it's normal. For the crypto market, that's very normal that the market would go down and go up. Maybe in a day it goes 20% above or 20% down. But the problem is that you don't know where's the next move of this market. Is it going to go up or down? You can speculate. You can look at news. You can look at anything, but you cannot guarantee 100% confirmation that it's going up or it's going down so that you can hold it, so on. All of us have seen professional traders losing at these kind of moments where they expect the market to go up, they buy, and then the market goes down, so they end up holding for some time until maybe a year or two until the market comes back up and go above their initial price that were the bought. So I'm just telling this about just to highlight about the market that we're in. Now we're into crypto market where there is a lot of volatility, there's a lot of movement and unexpected movement most of the time. So what I did at that time is just, I tried to use my mathematical knowledge. So looking at the parameters available in that bot, unfortunately, there was no customer support to help me get understanding of what's inside. So I had to use my own money, the remaining of my money, I would say, to test and to check each and every parameter. So I had like papers and pens for 4 weeks doing nothing, only just sitting in the computer and having my papers in, trying this, trying that, until I understood all of the parameters that we had in that bot. I figured out at the end is that the settings that we were using are completely wrong. They could work in the higher market, but when the market goes down, it does not sustain more than 20% of drop. And more than 20% is very normal in this market. But we were lucky at that time that the market was moving up. So I came up with a strategy that was a safe strategy, would sustain about 50% on that bot itself. But the problem was now, no one of my team have money yet. All of them had coins because they already used all the money into the bot and they're stuck at the moment. So I started looking outside the box and seeing what can we do now for those people who are holding the coins. Can we do something? Can we customize the strategy to work for those people, at least to get their capital back plus a little bit of profit? And I did that. I worked out a little bit of customization to that, customized the strategy, and looking at the accounts one by one. I started with my downlines because I feel it's a responsibility, like I brought people to this business and they end up having some losing trades, not losing trade, the market went down actually, they're holding. So let me start helping them. And I started looking at them one by one, making a surgery in their account, seeing where is the gap, and then putting some numbers there, giving the strategy, and then in a week or two, they get out of the market with their money back, plus profit, without even the market having to come back up. So I tried it in 1 account, 2 accounts, 3 accounts, until I finished from all of my direct uplines. Then I started with my uplines, the people who have got me to that business, looking at their accounts and making the surgery in the account and getting the numbers done and getting them out of the stuck situation without the market coming back again. I tried with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and everything was working. But my problem was that I did not have enough time to support everyone because the community was big. We had thousands of people, and I have only 24 hours a day. So we had to like multiply the efforts. The team, the leaders in that team have called all the leaders, like 10 to 12 people came to the call. I gave them a training on how to get the people unstuck in that situation. So we did the training, and then everyone went out to their teams and everyone happily got unstuck. At that time, I had no source of income. I was just helping people for the sake of helping people. It wasn't having any kind of financial rewards behind that, and so on and so forth. So I called the company, called out the company. I sent them a letter actually, because there was no way to call them or to contact them, and it was a Chinese company. So I had to write the letter in English, give it to someone to translate in Chinese, and send it to them, and so on. So I asked them to open for me some more parameters so that I can even improve, because the parameters which was available at that time was not enough for me. Okay, I already reached a level that this is not enough. I need more parameters to be able to give more, to be able to improve the strategy better and better. But I received just a complete silence. I got no answers. I got no clue from them. Actually, instead, after some time, I found them using part of my strategy as a default, as if they are the ones did it. So, okay, so this is the time that I have to maybe start my own bot. And I went out to some friends. I knew one friend in Belgium. I went to them actually in Belgium a couple of years back. I visited their offices and knew that they're working on Forex trading bots. So if they have the capability to make a Forex trading bot, then they have the technicality to be able to do a bot or a crypto trading bot. And when I called them, actually, it was at the right time, because they were about to start working on their own crypto trading bot. So we made a business deal with them and started working. That was around last year in August last year. So started working on that with the technical team. So the old people that were with me in that bot, they started contacting me saying that, oh, we heard that you're doing your own bot. How about we become partners? I said, okay, sure, let's do it. Why not? So the leaders came in and they started being more and more and more by the time, because there were many people, remember, and I gained that trust from them at that time. So they knew that if I'm going to do a bot, then it's going to be a good one, because if we're able to customize that one, then if we do something from scratch, it's going to be superior to that previous bots. At that time, there was one problem. We had the technical team who can do the bot for us, and I had the team, but we needed funds. We need to raise funds to be able to create a company, because now it's not only just a bot that we use it for a couple of people. We want to duplicate it and even give it to other people's around us, not only for us to use it. That was the time I remembered that there were 3 of the people that I supported. 2 of them were from Mexico and 1 was from the US. They were friends together. And I remember they told me that if you are going to start your own business, whatever it is, it's a bot or something else, we're ready to fund you. So I get back to them. And I told them, okay, now it's the time. I have this business plan. I showed them the business plan, and they jumped in immediately. Even they started sending the money without having to sign the contract yet, which that kind of trust. I was lucky to get such kind of investors into the company. After that, we started working deeper, working on the compensation plan, working on the things around the bot, because the bot, they're already doing it for us. So we needed now to create branding, we need to create a website, we need to create a compensation plan, a website, we need to work on registration here. Now this is our office. We have to have an office in the company, and to make it a real business, not just a website online. We need it to be an official business. We did that one. We got the license, we got the programming done, we got everything done. And right around, I think, October or November, I invited like 30 people, 30 to 35 people to start using the bot just as a test period, just to scale up, because I was using it on my own to test it. Now we need to test in a bigger scale. So the 35 people came in for 2 weeks, and then we closed the bot. All of them came out with profit, but the idea is not the profit at that time. The idea is just to test the bot in a bigger scale, and everything was fine. Now we jumped into the bigger pool. People started even coming more and more and more and more around us, and so on. We started our official launch was in February here in Dubai. We had a big event where I called my investors finally to come in and sign the contract and get their official share into the company. And even also the leaders who was with me, we just booked for them. They came in here and they attended the event, and we sat here in the office. The main idea behind that visit for them is not only the event. We wanted to meet in person. You know, when you have people around you working with you, when you meet them in person, it's much better connection than just being on Zoom or being on the phone. Because I never met them before. We came here into this office, and I was here presenting to them the business, and we were all discussing about the most important thing for me was the vision, mission, and the values of the company. Because if we all don't agree on a specific mission and vision and values, then we go nowhere. You see, all the big companies that the successful one are the ones who have a clear vision and a clear mission, and they know their values. You know why? Because all the decisions that the company takes have to be based on that. If it doesn't serve the values of the company, if it doesn't serve the mission of the company, then that decision have to be dismissed. And that's what exactly we're doing right now in our board of directors meetings. If we have any conflict, anything that we need to take a hard decision on, then we relate all the possibilities to the vision and mission and the values. If anything is conflicting with any of them, we just disregard that option and we look at the other options and move on. So everyone in the board of directors is actually living that vision and mission. And I think maybe Jay shared that with you in some other presentations, because as part of our presentation, I asked everyone to use that values and vision mission to show our customers, to show the people around them. They need to know where the company is going, how the company has been done, and what are our values, which is very, very important. We had two options at that time. Once the business was ready to launch. Option number one, use normal marketing, do advertisement online, do advertisement somewhere, and get the leads. Leads will, some of them will convert to customers, some of them will upgrade, some of them will not, and we'll get the numbers. As a business, we will get the numbers and we'll get the money that we wanted. The other option was to use the network marketing concept. And remember, all the team around me was, including myself, coming from network marketing background. So that was the choice. It's not only because we're coming from that background, it's because this kind of business model is helping normal people to also get to kind of financial freedom, or to get a source of income, at least if it's not a financial freedom. If they have a job and they do this as a side job, they can create some good income for them and for their families. And this is one of our values, actually, to help our marketers to gain as maximum as possible and to be fairly compensated. We want to make compensation plans that's fair and compensating the people. And I would be more than happy to see like a million people, each one making a couple of thousand a month. They're making livings for their families, right? And we're also, as a company, are happy because we're making the numbers that we wanted to have, and our investors have got paid and so on. So this is what we decided to do. And even for the compensation plan itself, we have not decided on our own, just in the board of directors. We're involving the leaders who are actually active, like Susan, Bren. Jay is quite new, so he wasn't involved in any of those meetings, but he will be soon because he's running really fast compared to other leaders. We wanted to get something that helps the marketers. For us, at the end, we have a specific number that we can pay out, but it's up to the marketers how do they want to get paid, right? The best thing that gets them compensated well, they get them motivated, because as long as they're motivated and they're going out there and spreading the word, we're getting more customers and we're getting more value, we're getting more income, let's say, and everyone is winning. In terms of the strategy, I'll just tell it in a brief way. If you guys have any want more details, technically I can explain that in details. But how EazyBot works, how does the strategy work, actually, that I designed? The strategy is designed to sustain up to 50% plus drop of the market. That's what happened last year, remember? The market was dropping like about 56%, and that bot did not sustain. So I designed the strategy here to work up to 50+% drop of the market. And what will happen if, let's say, you started at this point of the market? Let's say the price of the coin was 100. The price went down, and the price now is just 50. So that's 50%, right? This trade, if the market stayed at the price of 50 for 2 years, I'm not worried. EazyBot is not worried. Why? Because it's going to close this trade, which was open at the price of 100, at the price of 50, and make profit. This is exactly how we designed it. How it works, maybe you don't need to know the details, but if you're interested, I can explain to you exactly how it works in numbers. And I have some videos online that I have put in YouTube explaining exactly how the strategy works. And right now, recently, we have seen even the market going deeper than 50%. Now some coins went down to 75% to 70%. And guess what? We're adapting to that. Now I'm working on a revised enhanced strategy that works up to 85%. I just finished from it today morning, by the way, and we just need to work it out with the developers and get it in. So now, if this kind of drop that happened now in this year happens again, it's ready. We're ready for it. We're ready for it, and we can sustain and move forward. But one thing I want to tell you guys about the trading: don't be greedy, because I've seen people going in loss because they are greedy. They want to get more. They see the market coming up, moving. Okay, if I start with bigger amount, even though I don't have the amount in my Binance, fine, let it go. I know that market is going up. How do you know? No one can confirm 100%. And many people got stuck this way. They put bigger bunch of money at the beginning, at the starting trade, and then in day or two, it goes well, and then it goes down. Then they get stuck again. So use the default starting order, because the percentage of the amount that you have invested. If you say I want to invest 1,000, it's going to use only 3.39% of that amount at the beginning, and then keep on adding down up to 35 covers, and now it's going to be even 38 covers down, 38 trades down. Yeah, so this is about the strategy, about the how EazyBot works. And guess what? Also for the people who are expert in tradings, the people who knows what they are doing, they can just untick the default strategy and do their own numbers, do their own strategy. And if they know what they're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, then I don't recommend that to you. But you can always test, like make the default strategy and make your own strategy, compare which one is working best. If you have something that works better than the default strategy, please let us know. We can also adapt that, and at that time you will get also a percentage of whatever this strategy makes for our members. You get percentage of that. Whoever chooses it, that account will be connected to your account, and 1% of the revenue that comes to the company goes to your account. And we have now actually one person who rised up and he showed us strategy, and we're testing it at the moment. It's been like 3 months we're testing it, and I think very soon we're going to implement that, and that's going to be connected to his account. Because remember, guys, that was me last year. I was doing the same, but I didn't get any support from the company. I didn't get anything. I had to start my own bot so that I can also get more parameters and play with. And now, if anyone also need more parameters to play with, let us know. We are ready to do that. It's customizable. Our bot was built from scratch, so we can do whatever we want to do with it. So thank you very much. Any questions? I'm ready to answer.
Sounds great. Sounds great, Mohamed. Thank you so much. And guys, you know, we're just a bunch of leaders in here today. And if anyone has any specific questions, now is the time. I remember last Thursday we got on a call, and David was on the call, and we had some executives on the call. Mohamed was on the call, and we didn't have enough time to actually cover all the questions. And so we decided to do another one this week, and we have the CEO himself, and he's ready to answer any of your calls. And just, you know, raise your hand. I see over here, Sherm.
Jay, do you mind if we start with one question that I know everyone would love to hear Mohamed's answer to?
Absolutely.
While everybody's thinking of their questions?
Absolutely, go for it.
Excellent. Thank you, Jay. So Mohamed, many people ask about how to choose which coin. And I think the initial story and explanation from you of how the coins that are available to choose from are scrutinized and how the decision comes to be that they're available.
Yeah, right. Actually, we have now around 19 coins, and all of them have been chosen based on 3 parameters or 3 criteria. Number one is, how old is this coin? How old it's being traded? Was it born yesterday, or was it trading for 2 years or 3 years? This is number one. If it's just born yesterday, then we never consider that. It has to have a proven history that it's been traded. Number two is, how did it behave in the past? Did it drop more than 70%? Or it was just 50% and 60%. If it's more than 70%, then we stop a little bit, and then we think over and we look at another option. Number three is, what's the project behind this coin? Does it have a real project behind it to back it up, or is just a token that's based on demand and supply? Because if it have a solid project, so it's unlikely to go to very low, to go like more than 60-70%, even if the market is as a whole going down. So these are the 3 criteria. If it doesn't meet any of those criteria, then we don't consider it. So any of the coins that are available right now, you can choose them. I would say choose them blindly. You cannot know. No one can know that which one is going to behave better tomorrow. If you have the financial capability, use all of them, so that you have a stable income. If one of them is not working well or is not volatile well, then the next one is going to work for you. So you have a kind of stable income.
Thank you. Back to you, Jay.
Sounds great. All right, you got it. I have someone who's wanting to know, like, what's the strategy? Does it have a name? And they also followed up with the a follow-up question of, and so, you know, what's going to happen to the first trades that they took once the market started kind of continuing with its decrease or you know, crash? And so they want to know how is that going to work out? Will those top trades get filled or completed and closed? And they were asking, what's the strategy? What's it called? Does it have a name?
Got it. Okay, about the name, it doesn't have a name. It's just a mixture of different strategies in between. And I like that question because it allows me to explain the whole strategy and how exactly it works. If you guys allow me to share.
Yes, absolutely. I will give you the host right now, Mohamed.
Even when we use the word trades, it can be a bit misleading because people are so used to these open trades. But when we say trades, we're talking about, for example, you bought $30 worth of Solana, or you purchased $50 worth of Cardano. It's not necessarily a trade that's open that could go into drawdown and blow your account. It's just a purchase at a price point. And Mohamed's going to share with you the concept of dollar cost averaging, which people are doing right now, and how this proprietary strategy can bring the average price of those trades down to the current market price.
Okay, I'll explain now the current strategy, not the enhanced one, and I'm going to explain what are the enhancements that we're adding to that. So what happens is that you always have your point zero. When you start trading at any point of time, that's considered your point zero, regardless if you're up in the market or low in the market or at the middle of the market, whatever, it doesn't matter. So what happens at point zero, when you decided to use EazyBot and start trading, you will start at a capital. You need to assign a specific amount to that specific coin. Now we're talking about specific coin. Let's say you assigned around $1,000 to that specific coin, or 600 or 10,000 or whatever. There are two options. First of all, what the bot is going to be is going to buy initially here for an amount at any point of time. It's going to buy 3.39% of your capital. Buy of that coin. You need to first of all keep your coins as USDT in your Binance or in KuCoin account, and then you click start. When you click start, with the default strategy is going to buy coins worth of 3.39% of your capital. There is a logic behind the 3.39%, which I'll explain later. So at this point, when you buy, there are only two possibilities, actually three possibilities. Possibility number one is the market goes up, right? If the market goes up, there is stopping at 1.5%. Take profit at plus 1.5%. So when the market reaches to 1.5%, it's not going to take profit immediately. It's not going to sell immediately and take the profit. It's going to wait for the market to retrace, to move down by minus 0.5%, minus 0.5%. And then close the trade here and make you a profit of 1%. This is going to be your profit. Why is that? Imagine this scenario now. Let's say the market just came to 1.5% and kept on moving up. It did not go down. It moved up to 5%, 6%. And then at this point of 6%, it started moving down. So at minus 0.5% from the highest point of market, minus 0.5%, then it sells here. So instead of making you just 1% or 1.5%, it made you 5% or 6% in profit, this big profit. And we have seen many trades. This makes $1, this makes $5. Even though the value is the same, the trading is exactly the same, but because the market behavior is like this, we want to get the maximum out of the market. And we're not looking at speculation here. We're looking at just numbers. We have the bot is looking at the market every second. Looking at the market every second. What's the price now? Compare it with the starting price. Is it above or less? If it's above, does it reach 1.5% or not? If it reach 1.5%, okay, wait, be ready to sell, but don't sell now. Wait for the market to go down. Okay, the next second, the market went up or down? Went down, okay, wait for it to go to minus 0.5%, then close. The market goes up, okay, now what's the price now? The price is, let's say, 2%. Okay, good. This is the last price. Wait for it to drop down 0.5% from that price. Every second, it has this kind of communication between the exchange and the EazyBot. So when it reaches the right time, then it sells and make it a profit and start all over again. So now this is scenario number one. The market goes up. Scenario number two. The market goes sideways, like this. But guess what? The market is never going to go like this. The market, even if it goes sideways, is going to fluctuate like this. And what's the value of this fluctuating? The fluctuation, the daily fluctuation in a normal day without good news, without bad news, is going to be between 1 to 5%, plus and minus. You don't know whether it's going to be plus or minus. It can go up to 5%, minus 5%, plus 5%, minus 5%, multiple times a day. So the bot is being prepared to work on that kind of market. It takes profit at 1.5%, which is within the range of the daily movement. If the market goes down by minus 2%, start buying again and then sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. If it moves, this movement is going to be the best. It's going to be making some good profit. Then the last one, which is the worst case scenario, if the market moves down, it can move down. It always moves down. This is the nature of this market. So if the market goes down, we have a stopping point here at minus 2%. So at this point, the bot is ready to buy more, but it's not going to buy immediately. Just like the take profit, it's going to wait for the market. Now, okay, the market have hit the minus 0.2% from the initial amount. Okay, now be ready. It's now the time to buy, but don't buy yet. Wait, maybe the market's going down more. Just wait for the market. So it has to retrace or pull back by plus 0.5% before it takes that order. Why is that? Let's take the scenario where there is bad news in the market at this point. You don't have to be in front of the bot to change parameters every time. It's like this, it's programmed like this. If there's a bad news, it's going to go like this at a point of time, maybe in a second or in 2 seconds or in a minute or 2 minutes, but it's not going to pull back. If it goes like this, it's going to wait for the market to stabilize again, to start showing this movement up, an intention to move up by 0.5%. 0.5. So instead of buying at this point of higher market, is buying at the lower market point, which is saving you basically. Saving you all of this here. Because if it bought, it's not going to sell faster. But if it buys here, then the market goes up and then it's going to start selling. Let's take the worst case scenario that the market just hit the point of minus 2% and started moving up and took the next trade. So what's the value of the next trade here? Let's call this at the beginning as 1x or 1 time. 1x is equal to 3.39%. Then the second buy here is going to be also equal to 1x, equal to the initial amount. Now, what's our break-even point? Our break-even point is when we sell, is to sell those 2 trades at a specific price that brings us back to 0, to bring our money back without profit, without loss. Our point 0 was when we took the initial trade was this point here. But now we have two orders, one here and one here, equal in volume, different price. So our break-even price is going to be in between them, exactly in between them, in the middle. So this is our new average price. Let me just draw it in a different color. Yeah, this is our average price. It's going to be in the middle. So right now, the market price doesn't have to go up to initial point plus 1.5% to start taking profit. No, it has just to cross the break-even point plus 1.5% and then close both trades, make profit in your account. This is the cost average. Now, let's say the market started behaving even worse and it just kept on moving down. It just took this order and kept on moving down. Took this order here and moved down. Very normal. That can happen any day. So there is another point of stoppage of minus 5%. Minus 5% from the last order from this point. So at minus 5%, the bot is going to be again starting to be ready. Guys, can anyone admit the people? Because I can see some people wanting to come into the call. Okay. So it goes to minus 5%, then now the bot is ready to buy. It's not going to buy. It's going to again wait for the retracement of 0.5% and then take this order. This can be here, can be, because the bad news can come here. Someone can say that, okay, we stopped selling cars with Bitcoin now. So the price is going to go down. So the price goes down dramatically, then the bot's not going to buy anything. It's going to wait for the market to start stabilizing again, start moving up again, and then start buying. So instead of buying here, it's going to buy at the bottom of the market. But let's say again, the worst case scenario, just hit the minus 5% and went up, and it's going to buy here. How much is going to buy at this point in cover 2? We call those, by the way, covers. Cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. So in this area, we take 2x, 2 times the initial order, because we have 2 orders on the top. We want to take a big trade here so that we can bring down average price even lower. So right now, our average price or break-even point have moved to here. Just put the same color. Our break-even point is somewhere here between cover 2 and cover 3. So right now, what happens? The market doesn't have to go back all the way up to 0.0 plus 1.5% to take profit. Just go to the break-even point, go 1.5 above, start the selling process. Again, don't sell immediately. Wait for the market to reach the highest point to take the maximum profit out, and then start all over again. Let's say again the market started behaving in a bad way, and it, did I stop here? Yeah, and it just took this cover. Sorry, I have to make the same color. Yeah, it took this cover and started moving down again. Possible, very possible. Now we have another stopping point at minus 8% of the last order. Minus 8%. So at this point, exactly the same behavior. Once it hit it, okay, the bot is now ready to buy, but don't buy yet. Wait for the market to move up and show some intentions to move up by 0.5%, and then start buying into the market. Again, this point might not behave, might be really low, because the market at that point was moving down. So it's saving you a lot of time and a lot of areas where you don't have to buy. So at this point here in cover 4, we're buying 4x, not 2x, 4x. Again, because we want to make a big volume down to bring down the average price or the break-even point even further. So this is the new average price is going to be somewhere at this place. Let me make it in purple. Okay. So this is our last average price. So from this point onward, we don't have any average price. Right now, the market have 2 ways to behave. Move up, but it doesn't have to go here plus 1.5%. It has to go just above the new break-even point or average price plus 1.5%. Let's stop here a little bit and see what do we have in this average price. What do we have exactly in this average price? We have 3 parameters or 3 variables. Number 1, we have the amount of USDT or of money that we use to buy all of these positions, which is initial, and then 1, and then 2, and 3. Let's say as an example, sake of example, just only 300 USDT or $300 we spend to buy this cover. And what did we do with this money? We bought coins, right? We have been buying the same coin here and here and here and here. Let's say the total amount of coins that we purchased in all of these 4 orders was, or 4 trades or 4 covers, whatever you call it, is 0.5 coins. 0.5 coins. Now we have these 2 variables. Can we calculate the average price? Yes. Our break-even points is we have to divide the amount of money that we spent divided by the number of coins, and this is where our break-even point is. This is the point. It's basically the price that if we sell all the orders or all the coins that we have at that price, we get the 300 baht. That's why we divide the 300 by 0.5. So 300 divided by 0.5 is 600. So our average price in this case is 600. Okay, just let's keep this for some time. Now let's say the next move of the market was downward, and the market kept on moving this down.
Just to be clear, Mohamed, for people, we've currently at this point, worst case scenario, we have covered a 15% drop. So that minus 8% is not from the initial purchase price, it's from the -5. So if you add them up, we're at 15%, but that's if it fell exactly like this, but the market doesn't behave exactly like this. We could be at minus 20% right now, or minus 25.
Right, exactly, because we have this pullback, these pullbacks before it takes the next cover. So let's say the market started moving down, just kept on moving down, 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 down. That's possible. I went down, I went to like minus 50%, minus 60%, and stayed there for 1 year. Possible, right? We don't know when the market's going to jump back. So after the cover 4, after this order, we have too many orders close to each other. So let me just make a different color for that and put the green on. Okay. We have this cover here. We have this, but these are independent again. They are not taking the average, cost average with the above one. This one is fixed there. This one is available here. The market At this stage, at this moment, the market have to go back again to point to the average price and above that by 1.5% to make profit at this moment. Just keep in mind this one. Everything down here is independent, and we have too many covers or too many trades ready for the market to take these trades. And the bot has actually 35 of them at the moment, at the current scenario. So you have here cover 1, cover 2, cover 0, sorry, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until 35. And the difference between those covers down below cover 4, between this and this, is as low as 1%. Just 1%. 1%, 1.5, 1.3. We have it calculated in a specific way. You can see that even in your back office. So this you can say as low as -1%. The difference between each cover and the other. Why is that? Because we want very fast movement. In a day, the coin can move ±5% multiple times. So it's going to take many trades here, buy and sell. Like at this point, it buy, sell, again, buy, sell, and so on and so forth. So in a day, you can see up to 30, maybe 40, 50 trades in single coin. And I've seen that already happening. So what happens here? Remember, we still have this trade on the top, not close. We're making a small profit here, but still we have this trade on the top. What's going to happen to that? Let me explain this. Now here, this is the magic. Let's look at one trade here. Let's look at this specific trade. Let me change the color just to make it clearer. Yes, let's look at this trade here. This means it bought here a coin and then it sold the coin here. A small amount. And yeah, the values of all of these covers just only 1x. So we're taking a small amount at a long period of time, so it can sustain for bigger drop. And that's why we're using only 3.39% on the top, so that it can go up to cover 35. If we use 5% here, then imagine it's going to close here. You don't have more funds. So that's why I said people don't have to be greedy. Use a small amount of your capital, don't use big amount at the beginning. So 3.39 is being carefully calculated to go up to cover 35. Now, what happens in this trade again? It's going to buy a coin at a low price, sell it at a little bit higher price. You make profit. Let's say the profit which was generated from this trade here is as low as just $2. Let's say $2, just for as a sake of example. So $2 was the profit. So the bot is going to only realize 50% of that as a profit. So 50% of $2 is $1. So $1 is being realized as profit. So what happened to the other $1, or to the second half? Second half is $1 again. So this, oh sorry, this is 1, not 2. So this $1 is going to be used to offset the average price and to bring it down. How does that happen? Mathematical, very simple. No magic, but it's just a math. So taking this $1 and subtracting it from the 300 that we have here, because we have three variables. Because number of coins is number of coins. We are already owning that number of coins, but we can control this amount, and accordingly, this amount is going to be changed. Because remember the formula: divide the amount of USDT or dollars being used to buy the coins, divided by the number of coins, that gives you the average price. In this example, it's going to be like this. Now 300 minus $1, so the new amount of USDT is going to be 299. Number of coins remains the same. No one touches it. Still, we're owning that number of coins, 0.5 coins. What else is going to change is the average price. Yes. So what's our new average price? Again, the same formula. 300 divided by 0.5 is 600. Now it's not 300 anymore. It's 299. Divided by 0.5, that's 598. So what just happened? This average price just moved down a little bit now with this trade. And guess what happens? Another trade happens here. It moved down a little bit more. Another trade happened. It moved a little bit more. Another trade happens. It moves more, until it hits with one of these independent covers or independent trade. The moment it hits with an independent trade, it doesn't leave anything behind. It combines that independent trade along with the average price and move the whole thing down. So it doesn't leave any trade behind so that it goes in loss or something like this. Until eventually, what's going to happen? Now this gap between the current market price and the average price is going to be breached. It's going to be lower and lower and lower and lower until they meet at a point of time. The current market price meets with the average price plus 1.5%, close the whole cycle, get the whole money back in USDT and start all over again. So literally speaking, that's what I explained at the beginning. If the market goes down about 50%, about the price of 50 from 100, the bot is going to close that trade, which was open at 100 at the price of 50 and make profit. This is exactly how it happens. So this average price would come here to the current market price, plus 1.5%, take profit for the whole cycle, close the whole thing, start all over again from point zero, but now at this point of market, at the lower market points. So again, repeat the whole thing once again. Now, a very important note here. Will you be seeing any kind of like your balance in your Binance or going down? Yes, at a point in time, you see that because you have this trade not closed yet. But the bot is working at the lower market to bring that trade down and closing it at any point of time. So you don't have to wait like other bots to wait for the market to come back up again to this point to close this trade, which was open at the higher point of market, because we don't know. Believe me, you don't know. Even if you go to here, look at news or look at speculations, look at experts, you will not know when the market is going to come back. It might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, it might take a couple of months, it might be just a week and coming back. So we just have to be prepared. That what we can do is surf the wave, but we cannot create the wave. This is how exactly we're doing it. So any question about this? I hope it's not Chinese.
That's great. That is really great explanation. Thank you so much, Mohamed. Let me see. We have Sherm right here. He wants to probably ask a question, and I'm almost sure that a lot of the questions that people asked during your explanation got answered. And so, you know, just to kind of put everything in a nutshell, EazyBot for the name, and we have a sophisticated strategy here that uses an average for math, and it can get out of the market, and it doesn't need to go all the way back to the top to answer the one person that asked the question. And before I turn it over to some more questions, I just want to emphasize on one thing, guys, that during the last 8-10 years, what I've noticed personally is that a lot of the wise investors, including myself, I hopped in to do this, is whenever the market crashes, and it happens every 1 to 3 years or so, people want to buy some Bitcoin. Okay, so I remember one time that BTC went down to about $14,000, and we all got and bought a couple of Bitcoins, and then we saw the market flourish again. And then it went to like 60-something thousand. I think it even touched the 70s. I'm not too sure. But when it hit the 60, 65 mark, we all started cashing out most of our BTC. This is what wise investors do. Now, what do unwise investors do? They, for fear of missing out, right? FOMO. When they see the market, it's bullish, it's flourishing. Oh my God, what do we hear in the history? People start getting loans, people start doing crazy, absurd things and buying way at the top. So there's no better time and no better timing than to get into EazyBot at this point, because the market is completely down. And so this is when wise investors are actually coming in and buying up some of that BTC, because we've seen it during the history, how the market zigzags and how the market crashes and flourishes, crashes. It's just the cycle of crypto market finance. And that's exactly what's going on. So there's no better time to get into EazyBot and benefit from being in a crashed state of the crypto space and benefiting. And as you can see by the explanation that Mohamed so clearly gave, we don't need price to go back to the original buying point, buying point, in order to get out in profit and just wipe all of that out and start all over. So with that being said, you know, you have to ask yourself a question. You know, are you that guy that's going to panic in a market crash and not see the opportunity at hand in the crypto space like wise investors do? Or are you going to, like do what unwise investors do, is wait till everything is flourishing and then because of FOMO, fear of missing out, then you're doing, you know, the unwise actions and decisions of buying in at such a bad time. And so, like I said, there's no better timing than now to get into the crypto space, especially with EazyBot that has so many benefits, including, you know, from the top leaders and the support and the motivation and the education that they provide, the willingness to show up for all of you leaders and for the ones that you've invited. You know, that shows a lot. That shows they're pretty much giving you the example of what a leader should be acting like and doing, and just, you know, that's great. I can see the example from the top, and it motivates me even more. And I'm a people person, so I'm just connected right with these people. They make me feel warm and fuzzy every time I connect with them. So we're gonna go ahead and open up for a couple of questions, and then we're not gonna take too much of Mohamed's time. Sounds great, my brother. All right, and then we have Allison, and you wanna, let me see, Allison is already unmuted. Do you have a question, Allison?
Yes, I just wanted to talk about, wanted him to show in the accounts, because I have some of my people on the Zoom call, how in the actual accounts in the last day or so, how the profits are in the bots and how they look in the actual accounts.
Okay, let me share my account.
Sure. Let me get you back on there. Hold on, Mohamed. Let me give you the admins that I can make host.
Jay, do you have the ability? Can you make him co-host and then he can?
I don't see that option,
Okay.
but he's host right now.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay. So this is my own personal account. I'm trading all the coins in KuCoin. As you can see, 19 coins. I'm putting 1,000 each, and you see the date of starting of each of those coins. They started on 19th of May, and that was, I think, the day when we introduced KuCoin, because I wasn't able to trade with Binance due to whatever reason. You will have those two coins have started recently, like on 30th of May. So this is a total profit. You can see it in the middle here. Out of 1,000, you take out, this is like 4.4%, this is 3.3%, this is 6.5%, 3.8%, 4.5%, 5.1%, and so on and so forth. So you see that the profit is different, but the common thing is that all of them are profitable. All of them are making profit, but it depends on how fast they fluctuate. That's how fast they make money. If you look at Bitcoin, is the worst because it's not fluctuating as much as the other coins. It's the more stable one. And Ethereum also is not as much in profit because of the fluctuation. If you want to see today's trades, we can just pick one of them. Let's look at XMR, for example. And then inside you would see all the trades. These are all the trades. This is one cycle. It's very long, but what I was talking about, the 3 on the top, the 4 on the top are making the average price. And the average price is mentioned here. And this is the actual price of the coin now, as we speak. Let me go down and see today how many trades happened. This is just a small cycle, just bought one cover, another cover, and then sold in profit and made profit of $1.1. This here took the first cover, initial, first, second, and then sold. The market went up. But even with this small movement, look at when it started. It started at the price of 202.38 and closed at 196.4. So it's actually buying here, closing here, make profit. Buying here, sell here, take profit. Here also the same, 196.3 and closed at 191. And then that's because of the average price brought down when you take bigger bunch of quantity down. You've taken 1x, and then 2x, brought it down, and then market went up a little bit and then closed. Now, the current cycle is this one. It's quite long because the market's moving down. So look at today, for example. Today, yes. This is all today from here. All of these trades happen today, from here down. If you look at the date and the time, and you go to your KuCoin account, you'll see exactly the same amount being purchased and sold, purchased and sold. So this is buy, this here sell. This is a small, the small covers, the independent covers. It buys low, sells high, make a small profit. 50% is this one, The other 50% is bringing that average price down. That's happening right now as we speak. So how many trades so far in this coin? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Between buy and sell, 15 trades. I didn't have to do anything. And I think even one of them just happened while we are on the call. Right now, my time is 6:25. This is 5:57. So as we're doing our own things, the bot is working and getting the trades happening, buying and selling. Let's look at another example. Is XMR, let's see. Solana, for instance. Also the same way. Because now the market is down, buying and selling those small covers, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, make small profits. Down, okay. This actually made more trades. All of these trades happened today. Look at the date here on the right-hand side, 16th, all the way down. And those are the sells, and those are the profits that was made today. All this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And still the day have not finished yet. And if we look at this also, 2 trades happened while we were on the call. Those 2 trades. This happened at 5 and 3 minutes PM. This happened at 5:58 PM. Let's look at one more example. Let's look at, what do you guys want me to check? Anyone? Let's look at light.
I think that's a great example altogether. I think Allison understands the concept there and her people. Let me, if you want to unmute Allison, I think she raised her hand again. But as you can see, guys, no matter what the market is doing, whether it's flourishing, whether it's crashing, or whether it's moving sideways, EazyBot has the ability to make profit regardless. You're always going to get a fluctuation in coin price. This is not like regular Forex trading where you can blow an account. You're just purchasing coin at a value, and while the market is fluctuating, it fluctuates in coin value, and that's the only thing that you're going to experience. But there's no blowing an account unless one coin totally disappears, and that's why the leaders are always emphasizing on diversifying. So if you're trading an altcoin and you have 20 coins and one of them completely pulls out of the market, which is a possible thing, then you're only losing 5% of the total that you have invested there, and that's not too much. That's very low risk for one coin to just disappear, which is highly unlikely, but also possible. So, with that being said, the bot is pretty much flawless. I know that a lot of us are like mind blown and probably can't understand too much of the explanations and the math and whatnot, but it's as simple as, hey, this phone works. You can call your mama on it. Now, do you really need to know the logistics behind the wiring and the technology and how all of that? Well, this is a similar thing when people ask, how does the bot work? I remember I had a particular guy, he's like, but how does the bot work? And I told him the same thing. I said, the same way a phone works. You pick it up and you call your mama, and if you can reach your mama, then you know it works. Now, if you need to know the technology behind it, I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that it works and it's flawless. And so, the product sells itself, guys. That's why I don't really emphasize too much on the actual product. The product sells itself. The people behind it love on you, and that alone is worth everything. And, the most important part of this is to lock in your future for the residual income through the Founders Club membership. There's only 1,000 positions available, and you guys are still on time. We decided, and we're kind enough, and actually Mohamed was so kind enough to come in and share his mathematical engineering genius with us and how the bot works and all of that. But I'm sure that most of you are like, wow, I get it, but I don't get it. Just like you would get that a phone works, but not how it works or the technology behind it. So, you know, we need to just focus our perspective on the fact that the product is flawless and awesome. It sells itself. The people behind it are top-notch, people-loving, supportive, motivative, and educating people. And us as leaders, guys, we just got to focus on the residual income part of it, because if you lock in your Founders Club membership position, then you're going to lock in, you know, a lifetime of global bonuses that are paid out monthly. And this is 5% of the bot sales and the revenue that the EazyBot is picking up during the whole span of everything that's going on. So you definitely are going to make money regardless if you have the Founders Club membership position. You're going to make your normal commissions like everyone does. But if you lock in your Founders Club membership position and qualify for it, now you're locking in a future. And that, my friends, is like planting a seed for a fruit-bearing tree that will give you a lifelong residual benefits. It's going to be something that you'll be able to enjoy, and the momentum thereof, because now is when EazyBot is starting to go viral. So you're still on time. There's only 1,000 positions, guys. So I think we're going to just take maybe one more question here, and then we're going to allow Mohamed, who was so kind enough to come on the call with us, to go on with his day, because I know he's very busy. So let's see. I think we have Yogi. Let me see. Yogi, are you still here? Well, yeah, Mohamed, go ahead and unmute.
Okay. I have two-part question. I look at bots and I really look deeply into them, all the maths behind it and stuff. I understand everything, the retractments, everything. The only bit I don't understand, and before I put my name down to it properly, I love to know these things. The average price coming down. So say on cover 15, we make $2 profit. You say that $1 goes into our wallets on the exchange, and then $1.
Let me clarify this. I got your point. So everything in your exchange is not. How can I put this one? Like the bot is analyzing, but in your exchange you'll see only total USDT, total of the coin. It won't see that math. Actually, both of the dollars have come to your exchange as a profit. They're both in your exchange, but the bot is considering that one of the dollars to bring that average price. So this is not with me anymore. I don't have that access to that dollar anymore. That dollar is used to offset that average price. I managed it from that average price and I brought it down, but it doesn't have access to it anymore. It have access to the second dollar in auto compounding. This is something that we did not discuss about. The bot is doing auto compounding, that whatever profit you make, whether it's an independent cover or it's in whole cycle closing, is going to be added to the capital, and the next order is going to be based on the new capital that you have, which is initial capital plus all the profit. So don't mix up between the bot and the exchange. Exchanges have USDT and coins, but it doesn't have the math. There's no way that we can push the math that is in the bot into the exchange. And the exchange can tell you like this, the $1 was used to offset the average price, and this dollar was used to do the as a profit, and you realize that as a profit. No, it's all at once. Like you have the whole pool here, and here you have the analysis of that pool that you have in your exchange.
So the new average price only initiates on the next trade in the cycle.
I didn't quite get it. What do you mean by the new average price?
So when the average price comes down, you said it's reflected on the next trade that it takes.
No, I'm talking about the profit. I'm talking here about the profit. Any profit made in each. Let me just share this one again and just show you an example here. Let's look at this one, for example. Unit had made $51 in profit, right? See that here. It's all in the independent covers. So our capital, sorry, I was talking about different things. So your capital actually should be 150. I don't know why it's, maybe we started with a little lesser than $1. So the profit gets added automatically to the capital. So the next trade or the next buy is going to be based on the new initial order. Let's say, for example, when this becomes 1,100, just look here when I click, this change to 57.
It changes, yeah.
So
okay,
bring it back. It's 35. So that helps you actually to recover faster because the volume of trade becomes bigger using that profit that was made. But the other $1 is not showing anywhere in the exchange. Everything is in your exchange. Here is just showing you the analysis of how it's behaving. But at the moment, the whole cycle is closed. You can realize the whole profit as USDT. Let's say you are trading only one coin. Let's say in this case, it's unique. It's this coin that you're trading.
Yeah.
You started with 1,000. And now you have made, as per the bot, you've made $51 in profit. When you go to your exchange, you see, no, it's actually 900 or 850, the total portfolio, which is equivalent to $800. Out of that, 437 is actually USDT available there, and the remaining is coins, is unique coin.
Okay.
Once the whole cycle is closed, you can see the 1,000 and the 51 plus whatever profit made after that as profit. So you see 1,100 instead of 1,000.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. Okay.
So just keep the calculation, keep the math. Just exactly this looks like us as a company now. We have an accounting firm that manages our accounts, but our bank account is having the whole money. But in their books, they have it divided. This money is for this. This money is for users. This is in the people's wallet. This is as a profit for the company, and this is what we have to pay as commission. Blah 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 blah. But in our bank account, it's just one figure. You got it. It's exactly the same.
Okay. Right. Okay. I think that's more. I think that average price formula bit is more valuable than the Coke ingredients. But anyway, my second question. Honestly, that is priceless. That little bit there. I've seen so many bots. My second question is: I know EazyBot's growing in numbers, it's growing in popularity, and it's growing with the negativity as well. As a company, we're literally buying software. So how, moving forward and to escape all that red flags, how do you intend to invoice us as though we're buying software? Because linking it via the API, and that can cause a few red flags, you know, how we're generating returns. So do you, moving forward, do you anticipate when we purchase a software, like invoicing us in the back office, when we pay fees, some kind of paperwork that we can download or anything like that? Because this will cause problems ahead. I'm quite sure of it if we, you know, if we're not like purchasing stuff off you as a software development company, such as an invoice or something like that. Well,
that's a good idea. We haven't thought about that, to be honest, in details.
Yeah.
Because so far it's not creating any problems. But yeah, we can definitely get that done, so that also maybe in terms of taxing and so on, whatever you're purchasing your money and so on, that may be a valuable information for you and for us as well also, because I know that taxes are coming to Dubai in the next June, as I heard from our accounting firm, that they're going to have taxes. So we need all of that documentation also for us as a company. So definitely,
it's not so much taxes. It's like UK and USA are very strict when we start linking up with cryptocurrency platforms.
Got it.
So literally, if we're buying a piece of software off you, then they can't touch us, you see. So in those terms, just want to safeguard ourselves.
But then tell me one thing. What about the software service fees, which is being charged maybe on a daily basis a couple of times? Do you suggest that we make it as one invoice end of the month for all the amount that's being charged and so on?
Yeah, so when we pay the fees, it's an expense to us. And when we buy the initial software, it's an expense. So literally you guys are just a software development company as opposed to a bot, you see, because I think slowly you need to maybe change the persona of the company as a software development company, because I've seen so many companies come and go, and I'm sure everyone has, and it just will create, I do foresee it creating problems. So structuring it that way, it will just save the headache later.
For us here in Dubai, we keep on monitoring the regulations and what's happening and what's needed for us. So far, we only need the software company, but I know that they're working now on some kind of regulation or making it official that people could deal with crypto at that time. Maybe it's the time where we have to adapt to that. But outside UAE, obviously, or Dubai, we don't have an influence. We have our online product and people are buying it from us, so we cannot stop them from buying it. And our main office is still in Dubai. We don't have a physical office, like let's say in the UK or in the US or in Canada and so on. But we have our product. People are liking our product and they're buying it. I mean, like the software, like Microsoft is having their office maybe in the US, and people here are buying the Microsoft, even though they don't have office here. So it's,
yeah, but they're buying software. You know, they can pay by PayPal, they can pay by Visa, credit, debit card. Here, we're just paying by crypto. We're not getting any kind of receipt in return. That's what I mean.
We can do that. We can do that. If that helps
Okay.
the customer, we can do that definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
And you know what? You know what? I'm going to add something, Yogi. I'm glad that you created this particular scenario, because this is what I'm talking about, guys. We've just experienced someone who has some experience in some of these areas, and from the CEO's reaction, everyone's voice matters. You guys just experienced someone gave a good opinion and maybe asked a question of concern, and we saw quickly how Mohamed grabbed this pen, he started writing this down, and he's going to look into it because he doesn't want anyone or his company to, you know, to have any issues, or you guys to have any issues when it comes to taxation in your country, or for that matter, you know. So guys, that's something that I value so much. I'm glad that this particular scenario just played out, because you guys are a witness to the quality of leadership and the quality of being heard. You know, you guys are being heard. You guys are being paid attention to. Your opinions matter, especially if they're concerning in taxation or whatever the case may be in your country, according to regulation, whatever it is, it will get heard. And not only will it get heard, it will get taken care of, and you will be responded to, and something will be done because your voice matters. And in other companies, no one's voice really matters unless you're someone in the top, unless you're someone that, you know, the value of what you're doing is being seen, and then, oh, let's give attention to, you know. Yogi just jumped on the call today for the first time, I believe. I'm not sure if he was ever on any of the other calls before, but it doesn't matter who you are. Your voice is being heard, and the people at the top are doing something about it. I'm so glad that this scenario actually happened so that you guys can witness it for yourselves. Guys, we're not gonna continue with any more questions. Mohamed is very busy. And, you know, you guys can always forward your questions to me on the Telegram, and I'll forward it to Bren, to Susan, and we'll get those answered. If they need to be escalated up to Mohamed, they will be. If we can't answer somebody, we'll find somebody that will. But I'm so glad that happened. And you know, with that being said, for those who just jumped on after I made the announcement, we are giving away 3 advanced memberships. So before I close completely and say goodbye, put your ID, your EazyBot ID in the chat, because that's the only way that I'm gonna know to put all your IDs or even your username, your EazyBot username on the spinning wheel. And we're gonna record that after we close. We're gonna give away 3 advanced memberships. Some of you are probably on the call right now for the very first time. Get with your leader, sign up before I get ready to spin that wheel, so that you can have a chance of winning one of 3 advanced memberships. And guys, you know, what else can I say? But I love you. God bless you. I'm gonna take the hosting privileges back at this moment. And if Bren or Susan want to say any closing statements, or even Mohamed, feel free to do so before I close. We'll give a chance for some of the people to put their username and IDs in the chat there, so that they can have a chance at winning these great giveaways. Bren?
Thank you very much, Jay. Just want to add one thing. There's one person who asked in the chat when I was the host, asking how to sign up. So maybe he would be one of the winners. Just tell him how to sign up and then put the ID.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think Bren got muted. Give me a second. Let me get Bren back on there. There you go, Bren.
Mohamed, I would like to thank you again for amazing value today. You really elaborated and told the story of how it came to be, and what led you to create EazyBot and present it to us. You told it so well, so eloquently today. Thank you so much for your time and your presence, and for just always saying yes when we ask for your support for our community of leaders. Appreciate you so much, Mohamed. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
I just have a few words of gratitude too. Thank you so much, Mohamed. Really appreciate you. It's an honor to be collaborated, lock arms with you on this revolutionary, disruptive project, and all of you on this call too. We're here for the long term. We've planted our flag with this project. We're available as servant leaders whenever you need us. If you're still finding your words to share the story and create a presentation or deliver one or anything like that, or handle Q&A, we're available around the clock. Let us know through Jay and we'll make ourselves available. But we're excited to collaborate with you on something that can last a long term, that we can really impact people and really make a disruption in this shark infested crypto waters, where we have something valuable, sustainable, that's real, that's tangible, with incredible heart-centered leadership like you saw today with Mohamed. So thanks a lot, Jay. It's a pleasure working with you too.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brent. Thank you, Mohamed. It was kind of you to come on board. We highly appreciate it. All my leaders, all my guys, and all the people that just jumped on board. Thank you, Susan, for always being there. I mean, these guys are wonderful. Another thing that we will be doing, and I'm just trying to give a little bit more time for some of the guys to put their usernames in that chat. Get with the leader who invited you, sign up, throw your username or ID in there. And if not, if you don't get it on time, then just message me on Telegram and we'll make sure to get your name on that spinning wheel. And you know, in a market space, call it Forex, call it crypto, where there's so much, and Brent could elaborate. I mean, he could really get in there. He calls it crypto casinos and the crypto pimps or the Ponzi pimps, right? And all this that happens, you know, we can easily get caught up in chasing after those high gains, but you got to remember, someone's always going to get hurt. And you know, it's not because of lack of education, because we are constantly, when I was deep into that game, you know, me and my leaders, I mean, it got to a point where we started realizing, hey, you know what, how about we approach this differently? So we tried to strategize. We did. And we had good runs. We had platforms that lasted 1 and 2 years. But at this time and day, with the market space and the conditions thereof, it is just crazy out there right now. There are rug pulling 1 to 3, 3 to 4 days right after launch date. I mean, things are lasting 1 month at the most. No matter how much you educate people and tell them not to risk what they're not willing to lose, you're always going to have someone that's going to put the whole bag on, or something that's going to hurt them and devastate their lives. And this is why we have to reconsider that whole thing. And it's all fun and games. I've said this before. It's all fun and games when you're making a couple of bucks. But when things turn around, people get sour, people get bitter. And those are the same people that never follow protocol. And they don't understand, hey, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But why go through that? Why go through that? And why go through putting something out that may hurt someone on the back side of things? You know, and that's where we have to reconsider as leaders. We have to turn around and say, you know what, let's look for the long term. Let's look for the long, low risk. Let's look for the lifelong opportunities that we can, like the COO David says, you know, you could present this to your grandmother. You can bring her on board and you can close your eyes and know that her funds are safe. You know, that's another great thing. You know, out there, you have to put your funds in the care of some platform, some stranger who doesn't have any kind of customer support. It won't even show his face, and you don't even know who's behind it all, and you don't even know what you're funding. Like Brent so many times says, you don't even know what kind of criminal activity you're funding by participating in some of these things. And these are the things that I have become aware of, and that I have had to reflect on. And yeah, it's been a good run. And yeah, we've made a couple of bucks, but there's nothing like sleeping good at night knowing that, you know, your funds are safe where they are, that the people that you are bringing on board are people that are going to have that opportunity to be low risk, long-term and lifelong. And that's what matters, guys. And to be part of a team that loves and motivates and supports and educates from the very top is the best example that you can get from a leader. And so with that being said, guys, I think that I gave enough time for everyone to put their username on there. And I just want to say, hey, guys, another one in the books. You know, keep the grinding going. You guys are doing awesome. I see you guys popping in there, the VIPs, the advanced, the downline is growing quickly. You know, keep on grinding, shoot for that Founders Club membership, because you'll be establishing yourself for a great residual future as EazyBot gains momentum. So without further ado, we love you. God bless you. Have a blessed rest of your weekend. Mic drop.